What is happening, everyone? This is Phil with Think Make Do, and we are still working on our plumbing here in our master bathroom or our primary bathroom, and we've got quite a big mess. There's just stuff everywhere. It's kind of ridiculous. What I've realized is these two totes that have all my plumbing supplies in them is just not adequate. I've been rummaging through everything. I ended up just throwing everything on the floor because I couldn't find what I needed for all my PEX connectors, all of my, I guess, like copper. It's just, I don't know. It was getting really irritating. And so I finally broke down and I did something I thought I would never do, but I bought brand new Milwaukee Packout organizers. And I don't own any of these things. So this is a first time purchase for me. And they're not like cheap. They're not too expensive. These are like 40 bucks, these smaller 11 compartment ones, and the bigger ones are 60. But the time I've wasted rummaging for connectors has just been I don't know, alarming. And so I just had to do something. I can't just keep throwing everything on the floor, looking for stuff, and then throwing it all back in the bin and then wondering where it all is. It's just not efficient anymore. So organizers are the way to go. I'm going to clean all this up, get organized, finish out my plumbing here, and get back to, I don't know, working on the house. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, let's take a quick break and show you what we've done and what has to happen next. Now, the first thing you'll notice is I have actually organized all my parts into this Milwaukee Packout thing, and I kind of like it. I don't exactly like or love buying expensive things, but it's kind of worth it. The clear cases are really nice, so I can see what's going on. All my 3/4 PEX and water supply stuff is here. All my 1/2-inch stuff is here. I moved all my sewer and drain stuff into one bin, and then all my miscellaneous kind of bigger items go into this, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 bin compartment thing over here. And this is gonna get cleaned out and everything's gonna be thrown away, and it's so much nicer. Yeah, who knew? Nice things are nice. Okay, let's talk about this. All of my plumbing is done. Hot and cold water lines, teed off. I'm using these copper stub outs, which are better, in my opinion, and more stable for the next part of the installation once the drywall goes in. These copper stub outs just are easier to deal with, much easier to deal with. So I'm pretty happy about that. The gas line here is no longer necessary, so I'm gonna unscrew this and then cap it off with a smaller stub out that goes below the floor line. So we'll take care of that at some point. Now, let's talk about some major changes. I've made a controversial decision, probably, and I'm going to get rid of these windows. The vanity goes here, right? And I want a mirror here and a mirror there. And this design just no longer works with the window smack dab on the right side. So that's gotta go. And then this window is right in the shower area, exactly where the glass is gonna go. So I'd love to keep it. You know, you can tile in a window, which is kind of nice sometimes, but in this case, it interferes with the placement of the glass. And so it also has to go. So we'll get rid of this. And then anywhere where there's exposed framing, I want to put rock wool insulation, both for sound deadening as well as insulation. So all of this is 2x3 framing, which is not deep enough for standard insulation, as well as not deep enough for a standard shower niche that's going to go horizontally across this wall. So 1/2-inch furring strips are going to have to be made and then attached on all these walls here, all across here as well, so that I can have nice, straight, standard 2x4 construction walls to work with. Now, why would I fur out this side as well? Well, this side is kind of flimsy. You can see sections have been cut. Once the windows come out, there'll be some gaps. I want to use 2x4 framing to really solidify this whole wall, which is an exterior load-bearing wall. Also, some of the wood is cracked and has some termite damage, and all this plumbing will be better protected when I have the furring strips and I can actually put and attach the metal brackets that protect all of my spaces that go through the existing 2x3. So that's the plan. There's actually one more thing I forgot to mention. My 3/4 pipe that goes to my shower diverter, these are kind of short, and so I have to replace them before I button this up because you can't access down here once that panel goes in. Now, real quick, I picked 3/4 valve or 3/4 PEX here to try and maximize the amount of volume and pressure that goes to my diverter. I bought a non-traditional diverter that actually allows you to use up to 3 of your diverters simultaneously, which is different than most, which are standard 2 simultaneous, but not 3. And that's kind of a weird thing you'll find. The assumption is you're only going to use 2 of your 3 valves, but I want to use all 3. Rain head, handle, and the thingy on the wall because I'm wasteful. And so 3/4 PEX allows me to have maximum volume. I don't know if my diverter can even handle that much water volume, but I'm giving myself the best chance by having the largest pipe going there instead of closing this up with 1/2 inch and then realizing later I could have done 3/4. And that's the whole reason why. Anyway, I think we're good to go. Let's get working. All right, it is the next day here, and we made a lot of progress, and I think my camera died, so I'm going to explain a couple of things I did when the time lapse went off. As you can see here, we've got all of, I guess, the major part of our bathroom wall framed in, and all the plumbing finally capped off to the vent, going up the vent stack into the attic. So that's really awesome. I have my new PEX pipe that's been extended with shutoff valves here. And then when you look here, I have all the furring strips along this wall, and everything is perfectly flat. So I used a planer in the high spots here, and I planed down so that this entire wall is super flat, which means the tiling work is going to be also super flat and ready to go. You can also see all the floor has pretty much been installed, glued and screwed. It's super secure. It's not going anywhere, except for this one piece where I haven't yet determined the placement of the shower drain, but that's where that's going to go. So that's the only piece left that hasn't been installed. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to finish extending this bathroom wall over to the center wall here, and that will allow me to start framing out and figuring out the placement of the pocket door that's going to go in this space. And I'm going to make my 12-inch shower bench here. I kind of put this here just for placement. Let's see if I can, yeah. So this is kind of replicating what the shower bench is going to look like. Just wanted to get a kind of physical visualization of the space. I think it looks pretty cool. So that is good to go. And I also need to remove the windows on both of these. I am considering putting the window and relocating it here. I'm not sure if I want to put all the effort into it right now. The answer is no, but I don't know, give me a few hours, that answer might change. But yeah, fur this out, reinforce it like I said before. So let's get to work. Now that just about wraps us up for today's episode. We've got all of our framing in now for the doorways, both in the dining room and the pocket door. I've got all of my plumbing essentially in order. There's one more line from the diverter that goes up into the attic for the rain shower head. We'll address that on another episode. And thanks so much for sticking around to the end. We are so excited to share the next episode with you, so like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on that one. And trust me, there is so much content left for me to edit. I'll be editing for months. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one.